Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Emmy the Cat Lady, and you join me back here in the DC ruins. We are in Vernon Square. So get the world map. So we're here. So GNR is there, Chevy Chase, and we're at this part. So this kind of whole area here is Vernon Square. And there's a few different locations that are going to be very interesting to pay a visit to, but unsurprisingly, this part of DC is full of super mutants, as is most of the DC ruins, to be fair. So I got here through Metro Central and then navigating my way through the sewer tunnels and whatnot, as per usual. Bit of a pain in the backside, but here we are. So quite a lot of interesting things. There's always sometimes these, oh, there's a radiation suit and some Radex in there if you're interested. We're going to head out into the main, getting stuck on cars, into the main area. So I say there's a few very interesting locations. Some of them you might be familiar with, but some of them maybe not. So the first place I want to talk about is this crater here. So we can get down into it. So this here is the Delta 9 rocket and the access to the radioactive sewer, as you can see in the top right of the screen. So this rocket is the Delta 9 rocket that has crashed and created this crater, and obviously very radioactive. They were nuclear powered rockets. And it was one that was commissioned by the USSA, which is essentially NASA, in 2020, and it was used for 15 years before being converted to military purposes, which essentially meant it formed part of the US's nuclear arsenal. And it was also the rocket that was used in the last manned flight to the moon. Another example of the rocket intact can be seen at the Museum of Technology in the game, so if you go there you'll see the exhibit. It's quite big, so it's hard to miss, in the Museum of Technology, which most people that have played through Fallout 3 will have seen that, because they've probably done the quest for Three Dog. So yeah, very, very interesting that this has crashed to the ground right here in the middle of DC. But we can also get access to a sewer here. So this is the radioactive sewer. Rads are slightly better in here. I have got God mode on, so it doesn't really matter too much. But there is a whole lot of gore bags in here. So the super mutants have basically set up a little camp here. So there's quite a few of them, and depending on your level, they might be quite high level, so you know, be careful. There's a master. But yeah, so they've built their little camp in here, obviously quite happy in amongst the rads. But there is a fair amount of decent loot to be found here, as well. I mean, the gore bags are always worth looking at because you can often find ammo and bottle caps in it, but there's also, you know, we've got a bunch of stuff here. We've got some ammo boxes, Radaway. There is a stealth boy, stim packs, and a DC Journal of Internal Medicine. There is also a scoped 44 Magnum, and we've got some ammo, some other medical supplies and whatnot in here. So a very small little location, but quite a good little hideaway for a bunch of loot. Just make sure that you grab a radiation suit or some Radaway and Radex before coming in to this location, because it is very radioactive. Not good for you. So that's that location. Let's get back out of the 25 rads per second. There's quite a lot. And yeah, and you'll see there's lots of red on the compass. There is super mutants literally everywhere here. And then we've got this here. We've got the cinema with some, we can see the kind of movies that were playing just when the bombs fell. So we've got Destination Anchorage, P.S. I Hate You, The Nutty Nanny, and Adios Muchachos. So that's some of the films that were playing at the time when the bombs fell. And then here it is. Yeah. So beside this cinema, there is another sewer entrance. So this takes us into a different sewer. possibly this one was connected to the other bit that we were in, but this is obviously blocked off by a grate. There are traps in here, so watch your step. But clearly somebody at some point post-war has been living here, because we've got, you know, flame and barrel, we've got some food storage, there's a bunch of stuff collected, some tables and chairs, medical supplies, food supplies, all pretty well kind of set up and ready to go. Some crafting bits and bobs as well. And then there's the northern room, which is locked, so that'd be this one. Okay, I really need to try and find some more bobby pins. There we go. Right. I'll take the stim packs. Yep, there's a sawn-off shotgun, so again, there's more like crafting materials and stuff like that. But we've also got a copy of Dean's Electronics on the table there, so yet another skill book to add to our growing library. I'm gonna leave that. Don't want to lose my bobby pins. I've only got 2 left. And yep, we've got bed in here and stuff. So this place does actually work quite well as player house, and if you're wanting somewhere to rest and lay low, the containers here are safe, I believe, for you to store stuff in, which is quite useful. So yeah, again, another little tiny location, but there's a skill book hidden in there that could be very easy to miss, because the entrance to this place is quite easy to miss as well. It's at a dead end. So yeah, that's fun. So now we're going to kind of head back down towards where we started. Which is over here. And we're going to visit the hospital. So these locations are probably a bit more well known because there is a quest connected to them. So we've got the Statesman Hotel, which is here, and the Our Lady of Hope Hospital, which is here. So we're going to check out the hospital first, and then we'll check out the hotel afterwards, because we need to go through the hospital to gain access to most of the levels in the hotel. So a little bit less subterranean, this one, but very interesting. So we come in here and we've got a little kind of waiting room. Oh, it's you. That's what I was hearing. Ugh. Right. Unsurprisingly, there's super mutant centaurs absolutely everywhere, because of course there is, so be aware of that. And you're traveling through here. Ah, here's the waiting room. I love the Tesla cannon so much. That honestly brings me so much joy. It really does. But yeah, there's loads of stuff stashed here. Got ammo boxes and grenades and stuff. And obviously whatever you can get off the super mutants themselves as well. Yeah, so you can also get access to this hospital via the dry sewer as well as from the square. There's a lot of traps about as well, so, you know, keep your eyes peeled for various things. You can recruit some turrets, and I believe there's also a Mr. Handy that can help you deal with the super mutants, although if you're high level, they're probably not going to fare too well. So, oh, see, traps. There you go. Oh dear. Yeah, creepy centaurs. Yeah. So yeah, we'll have a look at the nurse's station terminal first, because there is some interesting things to be found on there. So that's helpful. Try again. Okay. There we go. Super easy. It's been basically impossible to fail that. So yeah, we can unlock the medication supplies, and then we've got some reports which are quite funny. So patient name, Tom Malone, injury, extreme muscle injury to groin area. So Mr. Malone was admitted by the staff at the Statesman Hotel across the street with an extremely painful pull in the groin region of his body. He indicated he was in the company of one Miss Seneca Clarkson at the time, but would not disclose what caused it. The muscles affected are the gracilis muscle and the adductor longus muscle. Treatment is medicine and physical therapy. So wouldn't disclose what caused it. You can probably guess. And then the next one, this guy's hilarious. We've got Harold Worthington III, sharp pain in knees and in left arm from a fall. Mr. Worthington was admitted by the staff at the Statesman Hotel across the street with the aforementioned pains. He claims to have fallen by slipping on some water left on the ground by a faulty ice machine in the hotel. After an overnight stay and extensive testing, we can find no injuries to treat. Please also note that Mr. Worthington asked for at least 8 pillows to help him sleep, and when the room was cleaned the next day after he was discharged, they were all gone. Treatment, none. So remember that name and the detail about the pillows. It will become relevant when we get to the hotel. And then we've got this one here, which I did talk about at one point, talking about Hubris Comics. So Richard Maynard Watson, whose eyes were splashed with caustic chemicals. So Mr. Watson was admitted by some of his fellow employees at the Hubris Comics facility. Apparently one of the press machines malfunctioned and sprayed hot steam and caustic chemicals into his face and hands, causing severe burns and nerve damage. Due to the nature of his injuries, he was flown to Hopkins in Baltimore for specialist care. So he was referred out, presumably to a specialist kind of burn unit to treat that. You'd be talking like skin grafts and long periods of debridement and everything in order to treat an injury like that. Sounds pretty horrendous, but I say keep Mr. Worthington in mind because he will become important later on.
Wish I had a new weapon.
Yeah, well, you're not getting one. There we go. So we've got the cafeteria here. Yeah, so there should be a DC Journal of Internal Medicine in here somewhere. In the cafeteria. And I did miss one downstairs. Oh, there it is. So, yep, on this table with the lunch trays, there is a DC Journal of Internal Medicine. The cafeteria here also has a total of 48 drinking glasses, which is the most in any one area of the game. And there's also a great supply of blood packs as well. It's a hospital, medical supplies, blood packs. You kind of expect them to have that kind of thing available in a hospital, even if it's not a specialty centre. But we did miss. There's another DC Journal of Internal Medicine, which I missed on the first floor in the southeast. So, yeah. These must be like cubbies for the doctors to have letters and whatnot. I mean, doctors do handle a lot of letters, you know, referral letters and all that kind of thing. We've got some rooms. Oh, hello. There's the station terminal, so yeah, you can hack into all them. As far as I remember, all the records are the same. Yeah, but we've got like first aid boxes everywhere. Lots of useful little bits and pieces, but I'll quickly check. I'm pretty sure all the like patient reports say the same thing. There's not any kind of different ones. Yeah, these are just the same ones, but you can unlock the safes with the medical supplies in them. Oh, ew. Centaurs are just so creepy. There it is. And it stayed in one place. I was a bit worried that it was going to disappear. So yep, in here, got this little room with 2 beds, and there's a DC Journal of Internal Medicine. There we go. So, again, all the stuff that you find kind of makes sense. Blood packs, stim packs, medical skill books. That's what you would expect to find in a hospital. Oh, that's a trapped baby carriage run. Yep. Anyway, oh, more super mutants. Goodbye. Right, make our way back. So yeah, I mean, there's a ton of other stuff that you can find if you take a good look around throughout the place. But now that we have that's all the particularly interesting things to find in this location. So now we're going to head over to the Statesman Hotel, which is a very fancy hotel. We'll start on the ground floor, and then we'll have to come back in here to go up on to get into the upper levels of the hotel. You have to cross over the collapsed radio tower thing that we saw outside. I'll point it out when we get there. Oh, Vernon Square. So yeah, you can see that there's a collapsed kind of radio tower that's made a bridge across, but we can get into the ground floor of the hotel as well to see a few things, and then we have to go back into the hospital to go up there and look at what's going on the roof. So yep, Statesman Hotel, so very fancy place. But it is also full of super mutants. Some of them are dead, but yeah, we'll get to that. So we can come in behind the reception desk. So the first thing is the terminal entries. The concierge's terminal. I think that was spelled wrong. I'll double check that, but I'm sure. Okay, so guest check-in. Can't do that. Can't check out. No availability. Unlock the safe, and then guest complaint files. This is where the fun part is. So we've got 4 complaints. And here he is again. There's Mr. Worthington III. So level 3 minor incident. Guest name Harold Worthington III. Mr. Worthington claims that the ice machine on the 2nd floor was leaking water, which caused the tile floor to get wet. He then apparently slipped and fell after spending the night up in the alfresco. On the way back to his room, he demanded restitution in the form of free room service or some more of those damn pillows. I found Mr. Worthington to be quite unreasonable and abusive on the phone. So, yeah, sounds like he's one of these rich hotshots that likes to throw his weight around and acquire pillows, apparently. And then we have a major one from Seneca Clarkson. So if you remember, there was a guy that had the groin injury that was spending time with Miss Clarkson. So this is a major incident level. And Miss Clarkson was found dead in room 302 in the bed in a state of undress. She had been suffocated by a plastic bag placed over her head and couldn't help herself from this predicament due to her limbs being tied to the bedposts. The man who reported the incident was taken into custody, that's spelled wrong as well, and told us that it was only a bit of fun. Miss Clarkson is known to be a highly valued escort for this facility, and it is assumed she perished in the line of duty. So hopefully you can pick up what I'm putting down with that. But yeah, so Seneca Clarkson, she is a escort, which is a polite high society term for a sex worker. And unfortunately, there are certain. I'm trying to do this in a way that YouTube's not going to get mad about it. But, you know, there are certain activities that adults can do that can potentially be dangerous if you're not handling it carefully. And that seems to be what happened there. So, you know, be safe, be careful, and don't forget the safe word. Um, but yeah, so then we've got another incident, which is an intermediate level one from Wanda Kellendine. That's quite a name. So Miss Kellendine reported the smell of cooking coming from her room 202. We immediately dispatched the security guard to her room to ascertain the source of the smell. After investigating the entire room, the guard discovered that the electric blanket we provided her was malfunctioning and literally burning her legs. When asked why she didn't feel any pain, she immediately replied, "Honey, I've been married for 40 years and I raised 8 kids. What the hell is pain?" That and the myriad of empty pill bottles we found seemed to answer the question. So, yeah, this woman was basically cooking herself with an electric blanket and didn't notice because she's been through a lot in her lifetime. So, yeah, Mr. Worthington III seems to really enjoy stealing pills from both hotels and hospitals. Hey, Bobby Pin. I'll just take all that stuff, why not? But yeah, so it seems like this guy is just a bit of a troublemaker and just likes to go around and throw his weight around.
Oh, well.
But yeah, oh yeah, see when you're a high level coming here, it can be quite difficult because you do have overlords around. But there should also be Tales of a Junktown jerky vendor somewhere. Guess that's what I get for not actually writing it down. There it is, found it. Yep, so there's a little kind of office at the back here. Or it may be a hotel room, because there is a bed in it. But yeah, so that's everything that we can really access of interest here. So to get to the upper levels of the hotel, we do need to go back into the hospital and make our way upstairs and we can cross that bridge. So yeah, there is quite a few interesting things, and I think some people that have played Fallout 3 will probably be kind of familiar with this location if you've done Riley's Rangers. So that's a side quest that can be started in this area, or you can discover it in Underworld if you find Riley and wake her up and talk to her. She'll ask you to go and help her friends who are trapped on the... They're basically trapped on the roof of the Statesman Hotel, so she asks you to kindly go and assist them so that they can get home safely, which she can obviously then do. So I think, yeah, second level. And this way it's through the cafeteria. See, because there is, I mean, when you're in these buildings, especially if you don't have the music on, there's all this ominous, like, creaking that happens. Is this the kitchen? Yeah, here we go. So, yep, that brings us out here, and we can make our way across, and we're gonna try not to look down, because, listen, I have a fear of heights. See, in real life, there is no way you would catch me doing that. Not a chance. Anyway, here we are in the mid-level of the Statesman Hotel. Did I turn the Pip-Boy? There we go. So, yeah. Just the tripwires. So, yeah, there's a bunch of traps here. Super mutants. who often do stumble into said traps, which is good. So one of the things that we will come across just directly, aside from a metric ton of super mutants, is this is all dead end, I think. Yeah, like a lot of the walls and things are crumbling, so navigating your way around this place is not the easiest. Ah, here it is, here it is, here it is, right. So, I'll need to skip to the end of my notes. So I was hoping to figure out where this was. So this is a kind of reference, and it's quite an interesting story actually. So um, there's a painting by Jacques Louis David. I don't know if that's pronounced differently. These are French people, and French isn't my strong suit. And it's a painting called The Death of Marat. So the painting depicts the death of a French journalist and politician called Jean-Paul Marat during the French Revolution. I will put a picture of the painting on the video for you guys to see. It is in the public domain, so I can put it there. And it's basically a painting of where Marat was killed, and that shows him sitting in the bathtub with his arm hanging over and a note in his hand, kind of like this. So this is depicting it. So essentially, Marat was involved in the French Revolution, and he was assassinated by Charlotte Corday. Apparently, he had a skin condition, which meant that he spent most of his life in the bathtub and even did his work in the bathtub. And that's where he died. And he was working in there at the time of his death. And interestingly, he was working on proofreading a copy of his newspaper, and the page that was stained with his blood has actually been preserved. And from what I can gather, it's not easy to find out for sure, but it seems to be in the National Library in Paris. And Charlotte was later executed for the murder. So on the painting, the note in his hands is translated as, "It is enough that I am very unhappy to be entitled to your benevolence." I'm not going to butcher the French pronunciation. It's been 20 years since I studied any French, so we're not doing that. But the painting did inspire a few other artists, and obviously at least one of the level designers in Bethesda. So it's a fun little reference. So they've obviously placed the body in the bathtub with the arm hanging over, and then a bit of paper beside it. So yeah, fun little reference. I forgot to check exactly where it was in here, so I'm glad that I stumbled across that. But we can kind of work our way through a lot of these rooms, and we will find dead super mutants, we'll find alive super mutants. Among other things. That's where we came from. Oh, no, it's not. This is where we needed to go. So, yeah, one of the things you'll come across on the stairs here is this is Theo, who was a new recruit to Riley's Rangers. That's the people that are on the roof that you're usually going to rescue when you come here. And Theo has this ammo box here, but it's code locked. So the only way you can get access to what's in this is to talk to Riley at Underworld. So she's there in a coma. So you either have to use medicine to treat her or get the doctor to wake her up. And then she'll say, "Oh, my friends are still trapped at the hotel. You need to help them." And she'll give you the code for this box to get the ammo out of it. So it's the only way to access it. Yeah, so obviously there's a lot of traps about, but there's also a lot of super mutants, so they can trigger the traps as well, which just gave me the biggest heart attack. So that's, well, you know what, a bit of adrenaline can be good for you sometimes. Hello, bye. There's your dead friend. Oh, you're not dead yet. No, you are. Right. Yeah, so you can see that there's obviously been a prolonged battle in this hotel between the mutants and the other people for control of the area. It's been raging for quite some time. So I need to find my way back to the stairs. Stairs. There we go. Because yeah, the third floor of the mid-level of this hotel has another very interesting thing that we want to find. So, good. Excuse me, sir. Could you please remove your corpse from the door? Thanks. That was funny. Oh dear. I have, yeah, dark sense of humour is on point today. So, yeah. Yeah, a lot of the rooms don't really have much of interest in them, but this one does. So this one here, we've got a skeleton. There's also some 5.56mm rounds, and we've got a
I was hoping for a fight.
note here. So this is a note from Little Moonbeam's father. Which is very interesting little note we can listen
My
to.
dearest little Moonbeam, I know you've been waiting to hear what happened to me. I'm sorry I left you like I did. An important deal came up. One that might have let us get away from the shack we were living in. I came to the Statesman Hotel to meet the buyer, and the deal went bad. We shot each other, and now I think I'm dying. I won't make it out of this
What
place.
for booms?
The ruins are
Rangers
crawling
leave
with
many
super
behind.
mutants. All
One
I
of
can
them
do is
get
record
by
this
us,
and then
we
hide up
all
in one
the
of the
way
rooms. You're a
to
strong
melted
girl,
human
and I know you
town.
can use everything I taught
No
you to survive
ranger
alone.
will leave here
Please forgive me, sweetie.
alive.
I only wanted to make the best for us. Daddy loves you very much. Goodbye.
Yeah, so kind of a sad one there for Little Moonbeam. So he had to leave her because he had an opportunity to do a deal that would make a lot of money for him and his daughter, but it went bad and they shot each other, and he doesn't think that he's going to survive, and clearly that was the case. So you might be wondering who that's referring to. So this note's actually for Sydney, a woman called Sydney, who you will meet during the course of stealing independence. So that's the quest where you steal the Declaration of Independence for the guy in Rivet City that runs the museum. And she is also on that task but hasn't returned. So you can join up with her and kind of do the job together. You can betray her and things, you've got options there. But if you stay on friendly terms with her and then after you've done that quest, you find this note, you can give it to her, and that's a way of getting her unique weapon, the ultra submachine gun, without killing her, is by giving her this note. So this is Sydney's father. And he called her his little moonbeam, which is really sweet. So she gets, her dad's last message to her before he died, and she gets the closure of knowing that he's dead or knowing what happened to him and stuff. So kind of a bittersweet little thing, but that is something that you can do. There is it does there is a hint that kind of directs you to that. To knowing that that's what she was called by her dad. I think if you talk to her, so you would potentially know that that's who the tape was referring to, and then you can know to give it to her. Oh, shit. Oops, missed. Yeah, there's so many traps in this place, so be careful. Or put God mode on, but that is kind of cheating. Yeah, just gonna keep working our way through. And then I think this is another staircase that's going to take us further up as well. So we're basically gradually making our way up to the top floor of this building. Yeah, not much to do with this place. So we will keep on going up. Mutants. It's a proper like maze and dungeon, this one. It really quite a challenge if you've not got God mode on. Is this? Yeah, this is where it is. So yep, we've got another skill book here. We've got a Chinese Army Spec Ops training manual. And this supply cupboard is the one with all the plungers and lamps as well. And then we make our way along. So again, most of this stuff has completely collapsed. Yeah. I hear stompy footsteps. Hello. Right. So many. God. Yep, we're going to be out there. So now we're up to the restaurant. I don't know how many traps it is that I have set off, but it's been a lot. Okie dokie. Yep, so we're now at the restaurant level. Hey guys. So yeah, we want to come here first. So this is the alfresco lounge. Let's do. Okay, so it's open 7 AM to 2 AM and 7 AM to 9 PM. 100% seating available. I wonder why. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, it's absolutely poaching with the bloody things. Go away. Andrew. Yeah, I can one-shot a master with this thing. Can't one-shot an overlord. They're just a bit too spongy. But here we go. We've got the alfresco lounge bar. I couldn't remember what it's called. We've got some Nuka-Cola branded seats. We've got some pool tables, jukebox. Nuka-Cola Quantum in here. And there is also a Grognak the Barbarian somewhere. There it is. So yep, yet another skill book. And also got some ammo boxes and things. There's also, I think there's a Protectron somewhere, so if you need a fission battery for fixing the elevator, there is a Protectron somewhere that you can get one from. And also, interesting fact about this place is that there is 137 plates and 75 cups in this location, which is also the most in one place in the game. And how somebody found this out for the wiki, I don't know, but kudos to them for, you know, doing the counting, doing the math. But yes, there's lots. You've got lots of booze here as well, so if you do need to stock up on the old whiskey or whatever, then you should be good to go here. Find everything that you could possibly need. Oh, there is a gas leak in this room. Where this takes me. Doesn't really seem to take you anywhere. Thing is, see if this was Fallout 4 instead of Fallout 3, how awesome would all those plates be for power armor crafting? I sometimes forget that the minimap exists in this game, but it is very useful. Here we go. We'll come up onto the roof. And all the mutants are dead. There's still some. Stop exploding things! Bloody hell. Okay. Yeah, you can see that the Rangers have been quite busy dealing with the massive pile of super mutants, but they are alive.
Hey, you! Get your ass over here before you attract every super mutant in the building.
I have killed most of them, to be fair, sir.
Watch it, will you?
Hi.
The name's Butcher. I'm the team medic. It's
Nice to
good
meet
to
you.
see a friendly face. Okay, now, who the heck are you, and when are reinforcements coming?
I'm afraid this is it.
Just you? You made it up here alone?
Yep.
Okay, I'm impressed. Riley must have sent the right person for the job, as usual. Hey, is she okay?
Who's that?
She's our commander. I hope she's still alive. When I saw you come up here, I assumed she'd sent you.
Yeah.
Well, we can chit-chat about all that later. Right now, can you help us get off this damned roof?
Sure.
I know you don't know me from the shit under your boots, but I promise you when we get out of this, you'll be paid well for it.
Yeah.
I'd suggest we go back the way you came, but I think that may be impossible. Our only chance is this express elevator to the lobby level.
Okay.
You're right. What we need is something to power the elevator motor up here and get the thing going. On the way up here, I'm pretty certain we passed a maintenance room. Inside was a wrecked Protectron. If you can get me its fission battery, I can have Donovan jury-rig the elevator.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
All right, we'll hold the roof position here.
Sure.
If any of us goes down, don't stop. Get the hell out of here and make for our HQ, Ranger Compound.
Yeah, so their compound isn't too far away from here, actually, and the dialogue would obviously be different if you had spoken to Riley. She's at Underworld in the clinic, and, you know, you can say, yeah, Riley sent me, or not. But basically, come up here and help them take out the mutants, and then get out of here, and they'll go back to your HQ. And you do get a lot of benefits from actually helping these guys out. Among other things, you can pick up their armour, which is quite good. It's obviously a form of combat armour. I think it adds luck, if I remember rightly. I forgot to check that, but still quite a useful piece of kit. You can see somebody over there with the minigun, so this is Brick.
Well, we got us a genuine rescue, eh?
Yep. And Brick has a unique minigun called Eugene, actually has a couple of them, it seems, which you can acquire. And if they don't make it, then you can obviously pick up their stuff off their bodies as well. And the final thing of interest here is...
Well, we got
I don't know, I might even have a fission battery in my inventory, I'm not entirely sure. I actually don't.
Rescue, eh?
Surprising. So yeah, say there's a maintenance room where you can find a Protectron, and it has a fission battery, so you can use it to power the elevator to get out. And there is supposed to be, unless it got blown up. So there is supposed to be a sheet music book, which if you have done the quest for Agatha and got her the Swa Stradivarius, the violin out of Vault 92, she'll ask you to bring her sheet music if you find it, and this is one of the places you can find a sheet music book. And if you do that, then basically that expands Agatha's repertoire on her radio station, so she'll have more music to play if you don't want to listen to Three Dog. And you prefer something a bit more classical. Once you've done that for Agatha, she'll have her own radio station, and given her sheet music basically provides more music for her to play. Oh, shut up. I think it's there, but presumably the explosion may have knocked it somewhere else. Wait, there it is. Found it. Yep. So I think it's supposed to be sitting on one of the music stands, but obviously the explosion happened and the physics engine is a bit wacky in this game sometimes. But yeah, so we need to get a fission battery, which does mean going back the way it became. Should have picked that up on the way through. That would have made more sense. But yeah, once you've done that, you can repair the elevator, and Riley's Rangers will go back to their little compound, which is on the other side of Seaward Square. I think I can show you on the map actually. I'm not going to cover that location specifically, just because. Why is it not? You know, it's kind of more direct connected to Riley's Rangers and the side quests and things, so but they do have some pretty fun rewards for you if you do the quest, including getting paid for discovering map locations, which is quite nice. So they'll basically pay you for every location you discover, and they'll backfill for any that you've already discovered before you've spoken to them. So it's a win-win, really. It's, again, there's a bunch of these things in the game, obviously, that, you know, let you earn caps by bringing people stuff that they ask for, which is, you know, it's useful. It's useful. And considering that finding locations in the game is one of these things that you're probably doing anyway, might as well get paid for it. Ah, here we go. Yeah, so it's under the stairs here. We've got the Protectron, and it has a fission battery, so that's obviously a guaranteed spawn. And then we go back outside and take that to Donovan, and he will no, we need to go the other way. Not taking the stairs down, it's too slow. There we go. So take that to him, and then he'll fix the elevator. That'll take us all the way down to the lobby again, or the game's going to crash, one of the two. Oh, good. So it didn't go to the loading screen, and I was like, are you going to crash? Because that would be extremely inconvenient. Anyway.
Oh, come on. Pay more attention to what you're doing.
Hello.
Hey there. Donovan at your service. You break it, I fix it.
Here's a fission battery.
Let me have that thing. Give me a few minutes, and I'll have the elevator up and running.
Sounds good.
As soon as I get it online, we'll get out of here.
Sounds good.
Hey, all right. Me and Eugene are glad to see you.
Hi, nice to see you as well. Let's go.
Good to see you in one piece.
Yeah, thanks, Butcher. Yeah, so Riley's Rangers are pretty nice people, to be fair. Generally seem to be decent sorts. there's another one. But yeah, I think it isn't. It's designed that this place will just spawn more bloody super mutants. Just because it doesn't really matter because combat's turned off. But yeah, so that's Vernon Square. I say the ranger compound is nearby, and I think by the time you get there, Riley's awake and feeling better, and you can have a chat with her, and you get to join them, and kind of help them out and stuff, which I think is really fun. And say there's some pretty good rewards for doing that quest as well. But yeah, very interesting location, and you know, there's a lot of fun little things you can find, like what's his name, Harold Worthington III, and some of the shenanigans that he got up to in the hotel and in the hospital, stealing all the pillows and stuff. And you know, the art thing, I say I found that in the wiki in the behind the scenes section. I was like, I haven't heard of this, so of course, BB and me, that sent me down a bit of a Wikipedia rabbit hole to investigate the painting and things. So very, very interesting. The kind of story of that's really quite interesting as well. And the fact that he was assassinated in his own bathtub while he was proofreading his newspaper, and that they actually kept that, you know, they kept the sheet that was literally stained with his blood, and they've kept it in the library, and you can see a picture of it on Wikipedia and stuff as well. Very, very interesting. And then this painting, and that was referenced, and the way they did that. So it's all these fun little references and things, and some of them are maybe quite obscure to some people, you know. I mean, the French Revolution and art history is not really my forte. As you guys know, I'm, you know, very much kind of science focused in my studies. I did do history when I was in school, and French against my will, but you know, it's very interesting, and I'm someone that always likes learning fun new facts to pull out at opportune moments. Just the way I am, really, and it was very, very interesting things. So hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.